Hey guys, and welcome back to the Wheel to Wheel Hotlap for week 6, proudly brought to you by Hybrid Ag. I'm your host Viper's Fang, and we are going to get straight down to business. I'm going to chuck this straight over to Scooter. He's going to show us the way around deep forest in reverse, and then once he's done that, we're going to come back and have a chat about this week. So with no further ado, we're going to chuck it over to Scooter. He's going to show us the way around deep forest in reverse. Take it away.
Thank you. This week's Hotlap is here at Deep Forest Raceway Reverse Version, store to the franchise, one of my personal favourites. Heading down the back main straight towards dropping down to the first corner here. We're at the top of 5th gear. Coming up the hill now towards the hairpin, and there's a few things going on. You'll need to consider both the weight transfer of the car when you crest this apex, and then make sure to get the car set up nicely for the hairpin. We've seen from earlier rounds of the crossbow that this car's quite difficult under brakes. We've certainly experienced that here as well. You can see I'm lifting slightly coming through this gentle left, setting up for the hairpin. I'll be on the throttle again briefly before braking here at the 100 meter board. Getting the car down in the second gear for a rotation, putting it back into third on the exit. Running slightly wide there. You'll need to be careful on that exit that the game may penalise you if you take too much of that additional track space. Like many track limits zones in GT7 is quite detrimental, so run wide at your own risk. Turning towards the second braking zone, which is here. This large curve on the left is our reference point for our braking marker. As we come across that, and you can drive right across that, track limits won't be a problem for this corner. On the brakes, down to the third gear for this deceptively tight right-hand turn onto the bridge. Be careful not to hit the wall there on the left. Gentle right-hand turn, lifting slightly, coming up through here towards the tunnel. You can see I'm lifting slightly. I'm at the very top of 4th gear. Careful not to hit the hard cut as we enter hard cut of 4th gear, the top of 4th gear entering the tunnel. So I'm lifting slightly before getting on the brake as I enter the tunnel. Another point to note that you do not want to run across this green astroturf too severely. The game will penalise you for it. Braking but staying in 4th gear for the left turn. As we set up to enter through the second tunnel, drifting quite wide there, you can take a lot of the additional space here. And then as we come across that white line there on the exit of the tunnel, as we hit your braking point. Staying nice on the inside to set up for this corner here. You'll note those large curbs or black curbs on the inside. You don't want to really skip across those in the crossbow. It does tend to unsettle the car. And then lifting slightly through this corner and setting up for the final corner, which requires us to drop down this steep hill. You want to be careful the front of the car gets very light as you crest this hill. You don't want to run too far left because then you'll probably understeer clean off the track. And braking about here just before the 50 meter board for this final turn. Rotating the car by using third slightly for back up into 4th. Exiting nicely, not to run too far wide. And that completes the lap. Certainly one of the more challenging ones on the calendar. I look forward to it.
Hey, thanks for that, Scooter, and thank you again to all the Div 1 drivers who have shown us around the tracks this season so far. Big shout out to Hybrid Ag for sponsoring the Hotlap each and every week, and now we just need to talk about this week. So we're back in the KTM crossbow again, a one make, and this time it's an endurance race. It's a 60-minute timed race, and it's going to be happening in the late morning. Weather looks good, although there is, supposed to be a little bit of mist around. I don't think it's really going to affect things too much. Now, qualifying for this race is going to be a 10-minute qualifier. Obviously, no reverse grid or other options for this race because there is only one race this week. But tyre allocations, again, something that the admin, the guys that just throwing these random things around. We've only got softs and mediums available for this enduro. The standard hard tyre that we would normally use in enduro is not going to be available. It's really going to throw things, an interesting spice into this mix again. We're going to have to make multiple pit stops. How long can you run on softs? How far do you want to push the mediums? How fast can you go? How much fuel do you need to save? These questions and many more will be answered this week at Deep Forest in reverse. And in reverse, wow, I mean, how many people have done heaps of laps around Deep Forest in reverse? It's going to be crazy. The Xbows throw up close, tight racing at the best of times, let alone when, not everyone is going to be super familiar with this track. Lots of practice this week, and I think it should be a really exciting race. I can't wait to see it. I know you guys can't wait to see it. You're going to have to find it on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channels. 5:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time. You are going to go wheel to wheel with me and all of the other guys, and we're going to love it. I can't wait for it. You can't wait for it. Let's go.